Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy, That Boy House here, and welcome back to another video on this channel. Today, we got some big news. We got two pieces of news that I want to cover to you guys. I'll get it out the way quick. So, yeah, man, but today I got two pieces of news. It's about Mercedes Moné, and it's about Trinity, or you want to call her Naomi, whatever. But yeah, man, as you know, 2024 just started. Free agency is going crazy this year. We got a lot of contracts coming up and all that stuff. And, this is exciting time to be a pro wrestling fan because you don't know where these people will end up. And anything can happen, and never say never. So, yeah, man. But without further ado, man, let's get straight into it. These are both coming from Fightful Select. So we got one piece of news on Mercedes Moné, and then we have another piece of news on Trinity, who is currently the TNA Knockouts champion. She will be defending her title against Jordan Grace next Saturday at Hard to Kill, man. So I'm going to be checking that out. I'll be live for that. So make sure y'all come join me for that. It's going to be hopefully a fun show, man. So yeah, man, I'll be back covering TNA shows starting next week, man. Starting this Saturday, Hard to Kill, man. So be sure y'all come join me for that, man. I will be there no matter what. So yeah, without wasting time, let's get straight into it. Mercedes Moné is in talks with AEW. Industry sources expect her to land there. Mercedes Moné could be narrowing in on a decision about her future. Fightful reported this past week that Mercedes, the former Sasha Banks, had been in conversations with WWE about a potential return to the company. However, the two sides were far apart on terms. And following up, we've learned that Mercedes Moné has continued conversation with All Elite Wrestling just a month after it looked like the two sides couldn't come to terms. Beyond that, those in the industry we've spoken to say that All Elite Wrestling is likely the landing point. Those that we've spoken to expect her to land at All Elite Wrestling, though nobody could confirm she signed on the dotted line. Of late in both WWE and AEW, there have been instances, specifically with Will Ospreay and CM Punk, where the physical contracts were not signed until the day of their appearances with AEW and WWE respectively. One source claimed that they heard AEW and Mercedes were close to agreeing on terms, but said it's never official until it's official. Mercedes was said to be seeking one of the largest contracts in women's wrestling history. WWE sources claimed that the former WWE champion, rumored to appear on day one, was not Mercedes. Honestly, it looks like I can see her going to AEW, honestly, because they gave Charlotte the biggest women's deal in WWE history, and Sasha was asking, her price to be equal or above Charlotte Flair, and WWE maybe did not want to give her that much money. So she turns to Tony Khan. Tony Khan, he's going to throw Mercedes the bag, no matter what. He's going to throw however much she's asking for. That's what Tony Khan's going to give her. But see, here's the thing: creative is the big thing. Now we all know the AEW Women's Division has not been booked that well the past 4 years this company has existed. We all know that. Now, if she comes in, will the women's division get any better? If she comes in terms of star power, yes. But in terms of creative and booking wise, some people say the creative might get better. Some people say the creative isn't going to get better. So it's a 50-50 toss-up. I'm kind of leaning towards the creative is still going to be where it's at, and it's still not going to be no better. I mean, you're only booking one match per show on Dynamite and Collision. It's the only time we get multiple women's matches on AEW is if it's on a pay-per-view. That's the problem. You have to give these women more time, because how are they supposed to tell a story? How are they supposed to sell the audience on what they're trying to do if you're not giving them enough time? How is that supposed to work? If you're not giving them enough time, you're only giving them 3 minutes, 5 minutes to tell a story and do matches. This is my main problem with AEW. The women do not get enough time. The women do not get enough TV time. Not enough time to tell their stories. Not enough time to sell them on to sell the audience on the matches. There's not enough time. And this is something that has to change. Now, Tony Khan claims that 2024 is the biggest year for his women's division. We'll see if he lives up to his word. Or is he just sitting on here lying to these people, saying that 2024 is the biggest year for the AEW Women's Division, just for it to stay the same? Now, I heard people saying, "Oh, she could be Mariah May's first opponent because Mariah May is making her AEW in-ring debut tomorrow night on Dynamite." I don't even think that's the way to go about it. Like, you gonna book Mariah May to lose in her first match? I don't think so. Me personally, I wouldn't book Mariah May like that. I would not book Mariah May to face Mercedes in her first match and then have her lose. Like, that doesn't make sense. You know, why don't you just build something up between Mercedes and Mariah May if you want to get them in the ring? Build something up, and maybe that leads to a match between Mercedes and Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. And you know, she probably could be the next one to take the AEW Women's Championship off of Toni Storm. So she could walk in, she could build herself up to be the next woman to take the AEW Women's Championship off Toni Storm. So, yeah, me personally, I don't think Toni Storm should be the champion. That's just me personally. I think Hikaru should still be the champion. I think Toni Storm's character didn't need the championship, but that's neither here or there. So, yeah. But, you know, you got talent like Hikaru Shida coming back to television full-time, hopefully. You got Thunder Rosa, who just came back to the company after, well, she never left the company, who just came back to in-ring competition after being out a year with a back injury. You got Jamie Hayter coming back. We can expect her back as early as February. That's the last time I heard. So Jamie Hayter, her return is imminent. So she could be back very soon. You got Jamie Hayter. You got Chris Statlander, who I think has fallen off since she lost the TBS title. I just feel like her momentum has just gone down a little bit. Willow Nightingale. She was the hottest women's wrestler last year at one point. You know, beating Mercedes, winning the Owen Hart Cup, facing Julia, and then her momentum just fall flat. Her momentum was just straight up killed. So, yeah, that's things that we had to fix. Like, after they lose the title, you know, where do these people go? Where do their momentum go? That's the problem. You know, same thing with Hikaru Shida. Like, we haven't seen her on television in a month. Almost 2 months ever since she lost that AEW Women's World Championship. So that's the problem. You know, we have. Also, we need to tell stories without evolving the championship. Like, build up some non-title feuds. You got Serena Deeb coming back. So why not? Why don't you run Serena Deeb versus Chris Statlander, or Serena Deeb versus Willow? That'd be a good feud. Athena should be on AEW television. She should not be on Ring of Honor. Honestly, her Ring of Honor Women's Championship reign has ran its course. She should have dropped it to Willow at Death Before Dishonor, or Billy Starts at Final Battle. So we need to get the ball rolling. I mean, you got Julia Hart, your TBS champion. We need to get more stories going with that. You know, because honestly, both women's matches at World's End, it wasn't that good. If I'm being realistic, it wasn't good. There was no story around it. There was no heat. It was just thrown together. And that's Tony Khan's problem. He can't do storytelling in the women's division. He really can't. Even though I would not care for this match, but there's chance of Saraya versus Mercedes Moné because there's a story tied to Mercedes and Saraya. You know, they can tell this story. Oh, you know, of Saraya. You know, she was on the show for like 5 years. 5 years. In kayfabe, in storyline, she can blame Mercedes as the reason why she was on the show for 5 years. And they can use that in a storyline. Like, it's very simple. Very simple. And, you know, and Saraya, honestly, and I don't care for Saraya, but Saraya hasn't done anything important since dropping that AEW Women's World Championship. You know, you got Ruby Soho in AEW. I think she's far off worse than she was in WWE. That's just my opinion, but yeah. But yeah, if Mercedes Moné does come to AEW, a lot of things are gonna have to feature. You're gonna have to feature creative in the women's division. You're gonna have to build people up. You're gonna have to tell stories without the title. And I think Mercedes will speak up about that to Tony Khan. Like, hey, you're gonna have to step your creative game up. You're gonna have to step your storytelling game up, because what I've been seeing on TV has been dog shit. So yeah. Moving on to Trinity. Trinity / Naomi is expected to return to WWE barring unforeseen circumstances. Trinity Fatu could be on an open market soon, and a major player is looking to land her. Fightful Select has learned from sources within TNA Wrestling that the longtime Knockouts champion is expected to be a free agent very soon. Trinity debuted in Impact Wrestling last April 28th and quickly ascended up the card. By July, she was Impact Knockouts champion, which she held for months. It is expected that Trinity is finishing up with TNA soon, but we haven't heard whether or not that will be at the upcoming TNA Hard to Kill show. In January of 2023, WWE sources told Fightful they were confident that they could get Trinity back in the company. However, there was an unofficial hiring freeze within WWE, though we weren't sure if we had anything to do with why she didn't end up there. However, in speaking with WWE sources, not only did they think there was a good chance she could end up back in the company, many sources claimed they expected it. There were also sources within Impact Wrestling who told Fightful that they expected it to happen sooner than later. One WWE source told Fightful on Tuesday that something huge would have to happen for her not to end up back in WWE sooner than later. But this is a crazy free agent period. Now, obviously, Impact, they could offer her a lot of money. Talks too. They could offer her a lot of money to stay in Impact. And, if Trinity feels like she's happy at Impact, and Impact wants to throw her that bad, because, guys, money talks. Money talks, guys. Money talks. Same thing in sports. Money talks. So Impact, you never know. They can come out, throw a bag at Trinity, and she can re-sign with the company. Or Trinity can head back to WWE, make her way back. And at WrestleMania, there's people wanting Jimmy versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania. There's a 90% chance that can happen. And that's going to happen. And Trinity could come play a part in this storyline with Jimmy and Jay. That's one pretty simple way to bring her back. The brothers are going at it. Trinity chimes in, trying to stop all this. And, she's married to Jimmy Uso. So Jimmy Uso, he's like, okay, whose side are you on? Yada, yada, yada. That's simple. Like, it's not that hard to tell. That's one way to easily bring her back into the company. Or better yet, maybe she comes back to WWE and I don't know, feuds with Rhea Ripley, something like that. I don't know. But the WWE draft will be back before you know it. So things are gonna shake up in the WWE draft. So she can be back, feuding with Rhea Ripley or Selena or whoever, EO. Now that EO Dakota is on the main roster, she wasn't, she obviously Trinity wasn't with the company at the time. Before EO and Dakota came back, she was already gone. So there's stuff you can do with Trinity, like Trinity versus Dakota, Trinity versus EO. So yeah. And the WWE Women's Division is picking up already. You saw two good women's matches last night with Rhea Ripley and Ivy Nile and Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. WWE's Women's Division is picking up. And, Trinity could look at, what, Vince is not there, John Laurinaitis is not there. You know what, let me get this a try. And also, I've been pitching this since 2021. Make a mid-card title for WWE, please. WWE, please make a mid-card title for the women, because not everybody's gonna be fighting for the main championships, and get these women something else to fight for. So yeah, but that's it, guys. I'll be live in about 2 hours for NXT New Year's Evil, or whenever this goes up, I might already be live by then. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys for NXT New Year's Eve. So we out of here.